Welcome back to Ferocious Education. This is Ed. Today we're talking about American Battery Technology Company, previously known as American Battery Metal Corporations. The ticker for this one is ABML. We're going to go a little bit towards the due diligence part and then technical analysis. So let's jump right into this one. So ABML. Now, first off, before going on towards the latest news, I think the best way to go for it is to try to go a little bit towards their corporation presentation. In this sense, you'll have an idea on what they actually do and what they stand for. And so, starting off right on, they are a recycling battery company. And the best way to put it is through this circular economy that they're trying to achieve. First off, you got the chemical refineries, and then cell manufacturers, and diffuse OEM, and instead of it going to landfills, it goes back to ABML, American Battery Technology Company, where they can go ahead, recycle these batteries and put them back in the market, whether it's through waste materials to chemical refineries or waste cells to cell refineries or end-use OEMs from waste products. Now, in that sense, usually it would all go towards the landfill, but in this sense, it's perhaps more environmentally friendly to have it in a circular economy. Not to forget here that they received a $4.5 million grant for critical materials innovation selected for award negotiations on January 20th, 2021. Now, the next thing as well that is really interesting is that the 20,000 MT per year lithium-ion battery recycling pilot plan permitting and design build construction has commenced already, and this will be operational by Q4 2021 and revenue generating by Q1 2022. Keep that in mind because I'll refer to that later on in the video. Now, the on-site Global Development Center supports both recycling and primary battery materials extraction technologies, analytical lab, process lab, piloting based evolution of technologies from conceptual to commercialization. The estimated benefit to the local economy of over $348 million in the first 10 years of operation, and it's located in an opportunity zone, scalable and repeatable opportunity for future plants. Now, the next thing here is looking into other companies. For instance, Li-Cycle, which is a Canadian-US company, it has a market valuation of around $1.7 billion. You're looking as well into Northvolt, which has a market valuation of around $3 billion, and Lithium Axis that has around $2.3 billion. And so you're looking into this company, which is an American company that has both lithium-ion recycling and primary battery metal extraction. So you get to see the valuation perhaps should be on par with the others, although currently the market cap is sitting closer to around $800 million. Now, the next thing here is some of the milestones that you do have. For instance, some key points to look at is $35 million for the pilot plant, $100 million successive recycling plant, and $15 million working capital. Now, in Q1 2021, they submitted the city plant's permit, start feedstock acquisition, entering offtake agreement, and close water acquisition. Q2 2021, submit state plant permits, order plant equipment, and start site work. Q3 2021, start plant building shell. Now, Q4 2021, start plant tenant improvements and install plant equipments. Q1 2022, commission pilot plant, start plant ops, black mass production starts. Q2 2022, acquire site for commercial plant. Now, Q3 2022, let's start commercial plant 1 permitting. Q4 2022, battery grade metals production starts, and 2023, construction of commercial plant 1, acquire site for commercial plant 2, state commercial plant 2 permitting, and further on to 2024, construct commercial plant 2. And so we get a bit of an idea here. I'm just going to quickly read this summary of things I didn't cover. So for instance, American Battery Metal Corporation is providing disruptive and clean lithium-ion battery recycling and primary metal extraction technology to meet the accelerating demand for battery-grade metals for a circular economy. Our process reduces e-waste, mitigates reliance on high-impact mining, reduces air and water pollution, strengthens national security and domestic supply chain, and supports the transition for a next-generation closed-loop circular economy. Highly experienced team with first-hand knowledge of advanced lithium-ion battery manufacturing processes at the Tesla Gigafactory and advanced metal extraction and manufacturing processes with the initiated Tesla Research and Development Battery Materials Processing Team. They have won a global competition from one of the largest customer of battery cathode metals in North America, BASF, and formed partnerships and won awards with industry leaders DuPont, US DOE, US automakers, and critical materials institutes. And then the next thing is that they aspire to be dominant in ESG principled US-based company in battery metal extraction and recycling technology, creating a circular economy for critical and strategic metals. So we can move on now towards some of the latest news. And just a quick thing, if you'd like to see more contents like this, make sure to scroll down below, click that like button, and subscribe. If you'd like to join our Discord, it's totally free, it's in the description below. Now, some of the latest news, and this is to give you a bit of perspective on what they're doing. They're really good with their PRs. They're continuously pumping them out. Now, American Battery Metals Corporation enters into contract to purchase 8 acres of land in Sparks, Nevada. And looking further into this information itself, what you get to see here is that what they're trying to do is locating it very close to the Tesla Gigafactory. And so that property is located in Tahoe Reno Industry Center, TRIC, and close to the Gigafactory. The new land acquisition provides company additional flexibility in building out facilities required to store and recycle lithium batteries. Now, our new property is ideally located in Tahoe Reno Industrial Center that provides ample transportation infrastructure important for our business, stated the Chief Resources Officer Scott Jalcover. And so the idea here and why they're putting it closer to the Tesla Gigafactory is one, for either potential acquisition, because Tesla is known for vertical integration and buying different companies for a vertical integrated process, or to get some business from Tesla, whether it's recycling their batteries for kickback or some sort of advantage there, just it being geographically closer. And definitely news like that, a lot of investors would love to hear that. Now, the next thing here is American Battery Metal Corporation submits 3 new permit applications to City of Fernley and Nevada Division of Environmental Protection for its lithium-ion battery recycling pilot plant. This is, again, we did talk about it in the presentation. This one here is a mass grant permit that will enable the Milestone construction team to prepare an ABTC's 12.44 acre pilot plant site in Fernley, Nevada for underground construction work and building foundations. Now, the stormwater pollution preventable plan or prevention plan is a living document that will keep on the pilot plant site in Fernley, Nevada, to ensure the facility does not pollute stormwater. And so they're definitely looking a bit more on the environmental aspect, although these documents are often required both either in state or in federal level. Now, the next thing here is that they did present at Wall Street Conference on May 5th. I'm just going to go towards some of the more important news instead of going on and explaining them, not to waste your time. And you get as well here that they've raised $15 million in a registered direct offering with a single institutional investor. American Battery Metals Corporation presented back on April 22nd. They also had American Battery Metal Corporation CEO Menka Sethi to participate in the U.S. Climate Action Week panel with Zero Emission Transportation Association. So that perhaps a bit more on connections part. And we go on back, American Metals Corporation responds to the Department of Energy request for information regarding risk in the high-capacity battery supply chain. And they also had another one here, which established a common stock equity agreement for up to $75 million. They also added Nick Coping, technology industry veteran, to advisory board. And you go further on back, they have a lot of good news. So that is one of the reasons why the stock is actually seeing a good amount of growth. Now, another thing here is that you're looking into an enterprise value of somewhere around $757 million. Now, this is data derived from multiple sources and calculated by Yahoo Finance. And the current market cap is sitting closer to around $840 million. 757 doesn't feel far off from where the current valuation of the market cap is. However, you do look that perhaps why it's not really pushing on forward is that they are pre-revenue. But you're expecting revenue based on the presentation from what they've actually said, perhaps somewhere in Q1 2022. So that means you're a year away from revenue. But that might actually, be a bit more cautious for some investors that are thinking, hey, they're not really making revenue. So yes, they are in research development kind of stage, and they are also creating their pilot factory. But in that sense, they are still closer towards their valuation market cap. So let's move on now towards technical analysis. Now on towards the technical analysis here, what you're seeing here on the moving averages, the 10 SMA and the 30 EMA are both touching, which is not necessarily a good thing or a bad thing. It just means that it's almost in an accumulation period, and think about it as a spring being pushed together, and it can either fling either way. Now, quick thing here that the 50 SMA, the purple line, is actually above the 200 SMA, which is a bullish indicator in the usual. William percent R is sitting closer towards the oversold, just barely touching that 80 mark. And when you're looking into momentum, it's still positive, even though dipping a little bit down. And the MACD is sitting very close towards zero or negative side. And what does that mean? It really just indicates for perhaps a closer towards an accumulation in the coming days. Now, on the moving average bands itself, what you're seeing here is that there isn't much going on other than accumulation from what it looks like. The current Bollinger Bands on the top is 192 and 107 in the bottom. The moving average band is 165 in the top, 150 in the middle, 135 in the bottom. So you can start expecting for the stock to trade within that range itself. Now volumes have been significantly lower from where it already started back on December, where it jumped from around 14 cents all the way to $1.55, cooled down a little, and then jumped back to $4.90. There was massive volumes over there, and it looks like there isn't much volume at the current aspect when you're looking at it. Now, in terms of, by the way, that's relative volume. Now, when you look at stochastic fast and stochastic slow, both are indicating perhaps this might be an accumulation period. The current significant support on the Fibonacci retracement is 121. Significant resistances 192, 249, 306, 387, and 490. Now, if we were to look into just price line actions, we're seeing this very strong support sitting very closer to the 142 or 138 level. Below there, you're looking into 120. Below there, 101. Significant resistances is 163, 180, and going upwards to 195, 218, 251, going up to 277, 297, 349, going upwards to 372, and 413. Comes to the question to Ed, what do you think about this one? Well, looking from their PR and just judging them there, I think that they have a lot of room to grow. I think that if they do follow through with everything that they're going with, they have a good chance of running perhaps a really good revenue company in the future. Now, keep in mind that they raise all their debt. They have zero debt. They have enough capital, they have enough cash. And if they're in doubt, they can just easily raise more money in a public offering or direct offering. And in that sense, they almost guarantee themselves a funding of this pilot factory or recycling plant. And in that sense, I do think in the next 10 years, this one will probably be higher than what it is currently right now, even though it's a speculation play, but all pieces are right there. I've seen companies like this come and go before, and I think that this one here is a little bit special because it has a good vision into environmental aspect. At the same time, this is actually something that is a lot needed, especially when you think about EVs, right? They do have a downside, and if you can recycle that downside, it's a huge potential. And so I think that this one here in the next years will definitely, if they do come through with the revenue, it would be surprised on where this one can go. So I think I'm a bit bullish on this one. What do you think about this ticker? Make sure to mention down in the comments below. Share, subscribe, and like, and have a wonderful day.
Now, if you made it this far into the video, I do recommend that you go ahead and join our Discord server. There's a lot of amazing folks in here. We do a lot of discussions here into the trading floor throughout the day. A lot of people are in there, and we do ask questions. You can ask me any question you would like on there. We do post research and DDs, and we hold weekly chat sessions. And we also do have a lounge in there. So make sure to actually join that and join the fun there. Have a wonderful day and a good one.